We've learned how to torture and kill each other because we practiced on the animals first.
But animals are eating animals, you know?
Some animals.
And
Almost 75% of animals on this planet are herbivores.
but it's part of our circle of life.
No, this is the circle of
It's
torture
like
and death.
When you see a lion eating a zebra,
Okay.
and you're.
But I
you're
notice
saying,
you
okay,
have clothes on, and I notice that you have a cell phone and you have a computer. It is unfair to pick one thing that lions do that you want to mimic when you don't want to mimic anything else they do. When lions walk up and greet each other, they sniff each other's ass. When I came in this room, you did not kneel down and sniff my ass. Okay, lions sometimes kill their young when they're runts. Okay, if a human being killed their baby because they didn't want him, we arrest them and charge them with murder. Could you go to a courtroom and say, hey, but Your Honor, lions kill their babies, can't I? It's an unfair comparison. You're not a lion. And just so you know, lions are carnivores. Humans are not. We are herbivores, 100% up and down. You put a 2-year-old child in a crib with a bunny rabbit and an apple, let me know when the child eats the bunny rabbit and plays with the apple. We are purely herbivorous. We have no carnivorous or omnivorous instincts whatsoever. And physiologically, if your jaw moves from side to side in a grinding motion and you chew, you're 100% herbivore. If you were a meat eater like a lion, your jaw would only go like this, up and down, rip and swallow. If you sweat through your pores to cool yourself, you're herbivore.
So you have now 2 minutes to try to convince me eat meat once a month.
I don't want to convince you to do it once a month. I want to convince you never to do it. Okay, you have to put yourself in the animal's position. Imagine that you were raped to impregnate yourself. Okay, somebody raped you to impregnate you. You gave birth to this baby. This baby was stolen from you at birth. That baby was fattened up with corn and soy and wheat and oats. That baby was put on a concentration camp truck, sent to a slaughterhouse, hung upside down, fully conscious in front of all of her own species, screaming, terrified, in fear, knife shoved into, her throat, cut up into pieces. Where's the justification for this? And it's not your steak. You said my steak. I'm very big on language. That steak was never yours. Okay, that steak is a euphemism, by the way. That's cow flesh. That flesh belonged to another living being. Where do humans get off owning and controlling living beings? Where do we get off thinking that we're the most special thing that has ever existed on this planet, when in reality, we're the most unspecial thing that has ever existed on this planet? Are you aware that if humans were removed from the planet, the extinction of humans would benefit everything that exists? Are you also aware that if the bees died off, as we've been talking about this for about 10 years in the news, the whole system collapses? If the ants were exterminated, the whole system would collapse. This is how important and special ants and bees are to the world. Why do we think we're better than they are when they serve a vital role and we serve no vital role whatsoever? We're tormentors. We're oppressors.
Where do you think it's coming from?
The arrogance?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know what has gotten into us. Besides death and torture and murder, I think when you put violence in, you get violence out. You consume discrimination and death, you're going to, exude the same horrible things.
Because some people may say the same things about you. Because some people may say that he's arrogant, he thinks that he knows better, he thinks that he's better than us, and actually we're all, let's say, how can I put it? I'm the one to be charged, and you are the judge who is judging me right now.
Yeah, well, there's two people in this world. There's people that judge and people that lie about judging. We judge people every day. We judge child molesters. We judge rapists. We judge Nazis. We judge murderers. And I know this is a shock to the meat, dairy, and egg eaters of the world, but vegans are more ethical than they are, hands down. And, of course, just like a person that doesn't rape is more ethical than a person who does rape, a person who doesn't kill cows, pigs, chickens, and turkeys is better than a person who does kill and torment cows and pigs.
Do you think that a person that is not killing birds and chicken and cows and pigs and eat meat, he cannot rape anybody? He cannot murder?
There are no vegan rapists in the prisons of the world. You go find me a vegan rapist. I'd love to hear about a story. I'll show you prisons around the world full of meat, dairy, and egg-eating rapists and child molesters and murderers and people that rob and steal. In fact, I'll even take it a step further when we talk about health. Go find me a hospital with a bunch of sick vegans in it. I'll show you hospitals full of people with heart disease, cancers, diabetes, osteoporosis, kidney problems, etc., all stemming from animal protein, the main cause of every major disease on this planet. And in addition to all the fat from all the animal products and cholesterol and the saturated fat and
Hitler
trans.
was a vegetarian.
Hitler was not a vegetarian. That's a complete lie. A complete and utter lie from Goebbels, his propaganda minister. Hitler did have a lot of power, didn't he? If he had all this power that he had, why didn't he mandate veganism if he were a vegan or a vegetarian? Do you know that Himmler, the guy that constructed all the gas chambers, was a chicken?
Maybe he wanted to slaughter Jews. This is why he had another idea, complete other idea.
Two of his biographers, Albert Speer and Robert Payne, talked about Hitler's love for liver dumplings and pigeon, which is known as squab. His main chef, Dion Lucas, wrote a book in 1964, the Gourmet School Cooking Book, and she wrote his favorite recipes, which were all meat-based recipes. This is the power of propaganda, the power of Goebbels, still alive and well. Do you know why people think Hitler was veg? Goebbels wanted to make Hitler seem as peaceful as somebody else in the world at that time who was loved and adored. And his name was Mohandas Gandhi. And Gandhi was vegetarian. And Goebbels would say, wait, Hitler's just like Gandhi. He loves animals too. And he's peaceful to the animals and he's a vegetarian. He's not. And just so you know, all the concentration camps did have animal slaughterhouses there too. And when the Allied forces came in to rescue the Jews and the Gypsies, they left the animals behind. This is why I call this the world's largest and longest running Holocaust. The animal Holocaust was happening long before the Jewish Holocaust, during the Jewish Holocaust, and it's still happening today. Every second, just so you know, of every minute, of every hour, of every day, female animals are raped to impregnate them. Every second, animals are being killed. Every 60 billion animals every year.
Do you accept, or do you understand, or that people are calling you terrorist?
Sure. What else are they going to call me? You couldn't sleep at night if they called me a compassionate human being, because I'm calling them out.
What is your main purpose? Because most of the world won't become vegan.
I'm trying to bring compassion to this world. It's amazing that I'm called a terrorist. And if I'm called a terrorist for saving animals, what do we call people that kill animals and torture animals and eat animals?
Most people I know aren't evil people, but most people don't realize their daily choices support evil. So if you put a knife in my hand when I was growing up, even though I ate meat, said, hey Gary, go kill that cow, Billy, you must be crazy. I'm not sticking that knife in somebody else's throat. So we pay other people to do it. So I want to reach those people that are passively evil, that passively take part in this, and that's the masses. So I'm just pointing this out to everybody, because people don't realize how much they're harming animals in their daily lives. So as I point out, the steak, the hamburger, the chicken sandwich that you're eating, the schnitzel, okay, these pieces of meat came off the bodies of living animals who didn't want to be murdered, who didn't want to suffer and die, who didn't want to be tormented. It is the most profitable business on this planet since the beginning of time, animal slavery. Nothing comes close. Not cars, not gasoline, not oil, not computers. Nothing compares to the amount of money being made off the backs of animals, literally. I want to show people what's going on, because if you watch the news, if you watch TV, the advertisements are happy cows. So I went to a slaughterhouse on my own to see what was going on. I heard their screams. I smelled death in the air. One of the most disgusting things, to smell fear and death. Why don't they show you slaughterhouses and say, hey, this is where your hamburger comes from. This is where your chicken nuggets come from. They intentionally lie to you. I don't lie. I intentionally tell you the truth, because I think if you saw what was going on in the slaughterhouse, no logical person could choose to continue to eat animal flesh. It is sad that we can't talk to kids about the truth, about what's going on in the world. Every second, just so you know, of every minute, of every hour, of every day, female animals are raped to impregnate them. Every second, animals are being killed. In America today, 30 million innocent beings will be murdered for a sandwich. Let's look at us like we are devils. We cut things off their bodies, their horns while they're fully conscious, off the cows. We cut the beaks off of hens. We rip the testicles out of baby pigs when they're born. We have treated our cousins in fur and feathers so horribly that beyond a doubt, if they ever formed an organized religion, the devil would be depicted in human form. This is why vegans get so militant, because I don't want to be a two-legged devil. to the animals or to anybody.